Hello, hello, Stephanie Zima here, my way of life coaching. And today I want to talk about something that I hear a lot. This question of why does it feel like everyone else is growing faster than me is not just a question that I hear from my clients all the time, but it's a question that I ask myself for many, many years, right? You seem to know everything, you seem to have everything, but somehow everyone else gets the results of maybe recruiting into their company, maybe making a sale, winning the trips, having the close. All of these things seem to be working somehow for other people, but not for you, right? And you are sitting there thinking to yourself, what is wrong with me? Why am I not able to do it? And that moment, your brain is going to start spiraling. You're going to come up with all kinds of answers because I don't know if anyone has ever told you your brain is like Google or like now ChatGPT. When you ask it a question, even if it's a subconscious question, it will answer you. It will come up with all kinds of things, such as, why am I not able to get it done? Well, because you are not good enough. Or, well, because you are not a salesperson. Or, well, because you just simply don't have time. Does that sound familiar for you? Drop it in the comments, please. Let me know what your brain is answering you when you ask it, why am I not able to do it? Well, I'm here to tell you, though, that when your brain answers you these things, that is exactly what it's meant to do. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your brain. Your brain is meant to keep you safe. You are venturing out when you are in sales. Okay, nobody is born. Just let's get that out of the way right away. No one is born a natural salesperson. Nobody. Nobody's coming out of the womb saying that, oh, yes, you know, who's going to be, are you somebody that has been born um, that has been born a natural salesperson? Nobody has been born a natural salesperson. Get that out of your head. What it is, in fact, is you are trained, your circumstances, your life habits, the way how you are growing up, all these things, that is what is trained to you. So okay, let me back up for a second. Some of these situations, right? How a person has been raised, how their home life has been like, what their thoughts are, what their habits are, what their actions are. All of these things can be beneficial to sales or they can hurt you. So let's say if your family was very rigid, very, very organized, and I'm not saying rigid in a negative way. I want to say it in a positive way. If they had really good morning routines, when they had really good systems, when they had different mindsets, right? A growth-oriented mindset and not a fixed mindset, meaning when you fail, you can learn again, you can have resilience, you can have perseverance. All of these tricks, basically, I'm going to try to say it in a wording that everybody can understand. Um, all these tricks, right? For some people, that's natural because that's how they grew up. But for many of us that are now wanting to get into sales, that are now wanting to have our own businesses, many of us did not grow up this way. We did not grow up with waking up and taking care of our body first. We did not grow up with doing the things when we don't like to do the things. We grew up with, if we don't like to do the things, we don't do the things, right? But you see, these kind of habits is what maybe is a differentiator between somebody with an opportunity or a job that is seemingly getting it all together faster than you versus you that may need to work a little bit harder to get it done. Okay. Now, I want you to really understand this, and this is why I've been talking in my reels about it today, but I also want to make sure you really understand it. The leveling ground from where we start is not the same. Okay, the foundation of what people start with is not the same. If you are in network marketing, let's say, and you bought your welcome pack, and now they say, congratulations, now you are in business, you are an entrepreneur, go get him, right? That's what happens, guys. Don't laugh. This is what happens. This is what they tell you. So, and then you are out of the sudden thinking to yourself, oh, yeah, that's great. I'm an entrepreneur. Some people, let's say the people that are already naturally understanding that you have to talk to people, you have to be friendly to make sales, you have to build a network. Maybe those people already have a network. Those people already are known, liked, and trust, all these things, right? Because maybe they've been in sports, they've been athletes, they've been in this environment. Those people seem to have it all. But what they have that you don't see is they have years and years of conditioning, growing up, already knowing that, in soccer, for example, you don't always want to play in the rain. You don't always feel like getting this leather ball that is cold and wet slapped into your face when you're a goalie, for example. But because you showed up for the trainings over and over, year after year, you are learning how to take it, how to take this miserable circumstance at that moment and make it fun anyway. And then you learn to love it. And so these type of environments that people grow up with, they shape you for business later on. And that is what people are not recognizing. That is what people don't necessarily see. When you have been giving this present of entrepreneurship, if you have been giving this present of a job, of a sales opportunity, of something, some people seem to do it and run with it because they're used to it. They know what it will take subconsciously, not necessarily consciously, but subconsciously, because they have been conditioned their entire life to take the ball and run with it. Okay. You, on the other hand, may find it a little harder. So when you're growing up with, I'm going to give you an example. My daughter came in this morning and said, Mom, why do I have to go running? I don't feel like it. I'm tired today. And I said to her, that's exactly why you need to run today. That is exactly because you're tired and you don't feel like it. That is exactly why you need to do what you need to do right now. Why? Because I understand that the conditioning of how you teach your brain, how you work on it, is something that you will need in business. That is something you will need in school. Those are success habits, okay? Those are success habits that are being either trained subconsciously through the environment and the upbringing that you're in, or now if you've never had been trained that way, you need to do it for yourself now, right? But that is where the differentiator is between people that seemingly have it all and grow faster magically versus you possibly. And what's really, really important here is that you understand that you are capable of learning new things. Okay, you are capable of learning the skills that'll be taking, and that is what I teach in the mentorship that I have, the Freedom Mentorship. I teach how to be aware of where you even at. See, because that's another thing that people are not aware of. When the thoughts happen, I'm not good enough. You are good enough, but do you even know what your starting point is? What is your starting line? When, again, let's talk about sports so that you can get a visual. Can you imagine you're on a track? You're a track athlete. You're standing there and you're supposed to outrun the fastest runner. But see, you start 100 meters behind, and the first runner is already 100 meters ahead of you. How on earth are you going to catch up to that person? See, if you compare yourself now on the internet, which is so easy to do, if you, without any idea where on that track you are actually at, you compare yourself with somebody that is 100 meters ahead of you already. And you are like, oh, see, I'm not a good runner. You could have possibly been 10 seconds faster than them, but because you didn't even know that you were 100 meters way past, you now out of the sudden assume that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that you don't have the voice, that you don't have the skill, that is nonsense, you guys. Do you see how that works? You have to start by becoming aware of where you are and who you are and where you are starting line. That is what I deal with in my heal unit, in my mentorship, right? We are talking about our environment, we're talking about our brain, we're talking about like what is going on, where do we feel, do I have fear, do I have scarcity mindset, where am I at with everything? All of that stuff is in my heal unit. And then we connect and we start building, what is our voice like, what is our mission like, what do where is our systems? Okay, and when we know all of that, then we can start taking and building a business that is designed to help us advance to the next step, level up, right? These things, this is what I teach my mentorship clients in the Freedom Mentorship, because I want everybody to win. And I know it's possible to win, but it's not possible if you don't take steps, if you don't take action, because you have thoughts in your brain that say everybody is growing faster than me, and you don't understand that other people have a different skill set to begin with than you do possibly, then you don't never learn the next step that is right for you. Okay. See, when you think about running, if maybe you're running barefoot compared to somebody that has already got $150 shoes, maybe you're running on gravel when somebody's already on the track. See, your next step to success in your business is going to have to come to coming off that gravel, okay? Because otherwise you are not going to be able to run, period. That is where it's at, you guys, okay? You have to understand that you need to figure out, what is your foundation even like? Where are you at with things? And then you can start building on it. But you can't build if you don't show up. If you are not showing up, if you don't watch trainings, if you are not engaging, if you are not doing things, you will not grow up, and you will not level up, and you will not heal, and you will just be staying where you are. And sometimes some people want to do that, but I refuse to believe that people are not capable, right? 80% of women are failing in, let's say, network marketing, the industry of network marketing. But you know what? It's so much more. Everybody's focusing on wanting to be on the top of their company. But what you need to understand is that even if you're not on top of the company yet, even if you're only making a sale a day or three or once a month or whatever, where could you win? See, when we had the soccer tournament last weekend, I've talked about this multiple times, because people were like so upset of like, oh, we're not winning this game, we're not doing this. And I said, but we win. We didn't slow down. We weathered the weather. Like, yes, maybe the final win wasn't there, but we win anyway. And this does something to motivation. That is where you are going to show up. See, the field of play could be your sales, could be your soccer field, could be your home, could be your online entrepreneurship, could be your whatever, right? The field of play can be different for every one of us. But what's not different is how we approach it. What's not different is what systems we have. What's not different is how we deal with keeping the attention, how we can keep the focus, how we can find the motivation. None of these things are different, you guys. Okay. And that is what you can train. That is what I teach everybody in the Freedom Mentorship. So if you find what I said beneficial, if that is something that you think you could do, or is some growth on and some learning on, and to become the person, because stop knocking yourself, or maybe you have not been taught. Maybe you haven't been taught the success habits of an entrepreneur. Maybe you need to learn how to grow into this. Don't knock yourself, and don't take away that opportunity that you could have for fixing your financial situation, for fixing and getting out of debt, for fixing and wanting to go on vacations and enjoying life. Because even that needs and requires success habits. You make choices every single day. So when you wake up in the morning and you choose to go to comfort instead of discomfort, you're choosing discomfort. If you're choosing to not work out instead of working out and taking care of your body, you're choosing discomfort. And I know it because I'll tell you, it is not fun being 50 years old and your body is inflamed from cortisol and stress and trying to, like, it is not fun when you out of the sudden are not able to move, not able to do the things that you love to do. But I have choices. Do I have a choice to improve on that goal right now, or do I have a choice of accepting and saying, oh yes, I'm getting older? But you can find proof everywhere and anywhere about something. Some people are old when they're 80, and some people run half marathons when they're 80, or marathons even when they're 80, right? I mean, the choice is really us, for ourselves. And I want to encourage you today, make the right choices. Figure out where's your foundation. Heal, learn, figure out what systems you need to implement to grow and be better. And then connect with what is your mission? What is your vision? Where do you even want to go? Why do you want to go there? Who are you able to help? Like all of that, there's so much in that unit that you need to work through and make happen. And whether or not you call yourself an entrepreneur because you bought a welcome pack or not, you did it because you want something. You did it because you want to get out of the pain that you're in. So invest in yourself so you can get out of that pain. Okay, don't perpetuate it. Don't sit there. Don't think, and this mentorship is $100 a month, guys. At this moment, it's $100 a month. Do not miss out on that. You spend $100 at Target, you spend $100, mindlessly on anything, and this mentorship will help you transform not just your business, not just your career, but it will transform every single thing in your life, because that can be applied to anything and everything. All right, take care. I hope this was helpful.